I've wanted to go tubeless ever since I've known about it, but it's expensive. You need special rims, special tyres, you need sealant, you need valves, you need tape. There's lots of things to add, and it's too much. Then you also need compressors to pump up the tyres. You can do it without. It's not impossible to do it without, but it's hard. Well, recently all my excuses started to disappear because Muck-Off were nice enough to send me some sealant. So I now have some sealant, and I bought myself some Muck-Off tape. Look, it's pink. It's amazing. That takes us back to the compressor, and the reason you're here for this video, because after training through the internet for months and months trying to work out ways of doing it, I found a hack involving one of these. See if it works. I went for the Silverline one just because it's a brand I recognised. I didn't want it to break after the first attempt. Inside the box were some instructions, but we don't need those. It also came with some replacement rubbers and stuff, which I thought was quite good. And a strap, just in case I wanted to wear it as a fashion accessory. So I went for the biggest one I could find, 8 litre, because I figured that would hold more air and pump up the tyres easier, but like now I'm not so convinced. I'm not sure if volume works like that. Maybe it does. If you know anything about volume, please comment below and let us all know, because if you can get a smaller one, that could be more useful. Okay, on with the actual build itself. So the sprayer attachment has 2 really important bits. This O-ring that you need to take off and then not lose, because you will need it. And then the actual screw bit. This is the bit that screws the sprayer onto the kind of trigger. But the rest of this we don't need, but keep it, you never know, you might want it in the future. So now I'm going to go ahead and dismantle the rest of it. I'm going to take the pressure pump part out and put that to one side. Obviously we'll need that bit. And then the hose. The hose has an attachment that goes inside the jug to like suck up all the liquid or water, whatever you're using this to spray. And that is the magic ingredient that we need for this build. So this is what you should be left with now. You've got the actual sucker bit that you will take off, and the hose. The hose will have a little O-ring in there as well to kind of make a seal on the tank, so make sure you don't lose that one. That's a slightly bigger one. And then this is the bit that kind of blew me away. So this bit will now fit into the trigger itself, and the other end of it will go over a tubeless valve. Okay, so if you take the sucker bit, and that's exactly what I'm going to keep calling it, and use the smallest O-ring, that one you took off the sprayer, and stick it on the actual sucker bit, then your screw adapter part over the top of that, and then that will then go in the gun. Seriously, so blown away that this just works like this. And then that should then go onto your wheel, and then you can use the trigger to blow the air through. Then make sure you put that big seal back on the hose, and then you can attach it back to the tank. And then the last part is putting your compressor or your air pump part back into the actual tank itself. And that's that. One Ghetto Compressor ready for your tubeless adventures. I mean, it'd be rude not to test it out, wouldn't it? That noise. But admittedly, on these plus tyres, it did take 2 attempts to kind of seat the whole tyre, so I did have to refill it. And as easy as that, I now have a compressor to seat my tubeless tyres. All that's left now is to pull the actual tube out and let the air out, but the tyre will be seated, and then like that, and then pop your sealant in and off you go. And that's that. That was a fun one. I've got more hacks and ideas in the future actually, so if you do enjoy this, do subscribe, and there's a new video here for you to watch if you are new to the channel. So thank you. See you next week.